Well, hello and welcome to day number 13 of our every single day live stream challenge for 75 days. Today is going to be extremely different from whatever we have been covering so far on our channel. Until now, we were diving into tools and framer, website design, and ChatGPT for enhancing your marketing and content, etc. But today, we have actually figured out that you know everyone is trying to do something on those lines, and it's not actually giving me the satisfaction, or it's not even motivating me enough to come jump on the live stream and share something insane with all of you. So I made this decision. I sat in self introspection, meditated for quite a while, and I figured out that one of the reasons that I was doing everything that I was doing in terms of bringing these live streams to you was mainly surrounded around the fact that I wanted to help, you know, entrepreneurs, creators, and almost everyone in the world enhance the quality of their lives. And then I started thinking, okay, is me creating any kind of content on the topic of marketing or content helping people elevate the quality of their lives? Like, really, is it helping them? Because there's so much noise. There are like tons of people who are actually creating content on these topics. Am I also becoming part of that rat race? Am I able to actually uh, fulfill my true purpose? And the answer that I got kind of disappointed me and shocked me, and I was a little bit sad about it. So much so that I could not even come on a live stream yesterday. Although there were other reasons, we are actually creating this community of founders in the area that I live in, which is Bangalore. And so, long story short, the point is that after this self introspection and deep thinking, I realized that what I actually want to do, or how I actually want to serve people in the long run, is by helping them elevate their quality of life. But how does one actually elevate the quality of their life? That's exactly what the topic for today's discussion and live stream is going to be all about. So I hope you're as excited as I am. And especially if you're an entrepreneur or a creator, you can be a creator in any field, then you are going to love this, you're going to resonate with this, you're going to relate with this, and you're going to have some really insightful takeaways from today's live stream. So let's jump in and let's get started. So first and foremost, let me share a small story with you about my journey so far, okay? What exactly happened, why am I here, and like what's going on. So you see, let me share my screen, and that's gonna help you a little better. Cool. So you see, 99% of entrepreneurs, they repeat this mistake over and over and over again. And most of them are not even aware of it because they're just grinding so hard, hustling in the day-to-day activities of entrepreneurship that they forget why they even started the entrepreneurship journey in the first place. It's almost like an escape from reality for them. They might have a lot of traumas, a lot of challenges, and they're trying to kind of run away from these traumas and challenges by indulging in the hustle and the grind of entrepreneurship. But there are a few entrepreneurs who are self-aware, and they make the conscious decisions to not actually, fall into the trap that most entrepreneurs fall into. So why did I become an entrepreneur? Okay, why do most of the people become an entrepreneur? Because you see, in my early childhood, there were a few traumas in my life that happened to me. Okay, and it's completely fine. I accept them, I've overcome them. But these traumas led me to a point where I was kind of seeking validation from my parents. I was trying to prove to them that I am worthy. But in the process of trying to prove this and trying to get validation, I completely lost myself. And not just once, but a lot of times. I completely lost myself. And recently, when I started burning out again, I went on a quest to heal myself, and I learned about this entire concept of polyvagal theory, which is something that's connected to the vagus nerve. Okay, and I'll share a few of my lessons and learnings here with you all today. So according to top psychologists, the vagus nerve regulates the fight and flight response for human beings. And mostly for entrepreneurs, it remains in a constant state of activation, which is basically a dysregulated state. It's not the ideal state that you would want to be in, okay, as a human, not just as an entrepreneur. And as a result, we may feel demotivated, low on energy. And me personally, I've had like migraines that have lasted 5 days continuously. I have had irritable bowel syndromes. Whatever food I eat, either it just does not digest and I have to go and just let it go very fast, or I feel constipated. I got asthma, like I could barely breathe a lot of times in my life. I started getting like this issue of grinding my teeth. It's called bruxism. But I was not even aware, like, why is all this happening? There were so many nights that I would just wake up in the middle of the night with some kind of a nightmare, um, thinking that I've lost some close dear person of my in my life, or something that was very traumatic and dramatic also. But I'm not the kind of person who just gives up on all of these. If something happens to me, I'm not the kind of person who gives up. I go, I fight, and I figure out a way to actually rise above my problems. And that's exactly what I did, and I found a solution as well. So I think a lot of you are not aware of this, but let me reveal this. I'm actually a college dropout. I dropped out of college within 1 to 2 months of joining engineering because I realized that there's more of theory than of practical knowledge that we gain in a college, especially in the kind of setup that I was in India. That is a sad state to be in, but that is the reality and the truth. Although there are some benefits of going to a college, you get to meet amazing people, you get to network with them, you get to share ideas, learn ideas, build strong relationships and bonds, and so on and so forth. But I don't think that was the driving factor for me in my life. So what I did was I dropped out of college and I joined a temple, and I became a brahmachari in this particular temple called ISKCON. And there I spent 2 years, and those 2 years were the happiest time of my life. So recently, when I was going through this burnout, I try to recollect and see from my own history, from my own life, what was the time in my life where I felt free, where I felt like I could achieve anything, where nothing seemed like a big challenge, and I was completely living my true self with intention, and I was feeling fulfilled and happy and more or less blissful. So that's when I returned back to those thoughts, and I realized that somehow I had forgotten a few of those things, the few of the rituals and my daily habits and routines that I used to follow when I was in the temple. So I somehow got lost in the hustle of building something meaningful. Like that's exactly why I left the temple and I came back, because I wanted to impact people's life. I wanted to help them understand the importance of relationships and tackle with their mental health in such a way that they could have like much better satisfaction with whatever they are doing. But when I read about the ways that you could activate the vagus nerve, I was a little surprised, because almost all of the activities and all of the lessons that were shared in the books and in my research really hit home, because I was like, okay, I have actually done all of this before and I was not even aware of this. This is kind of like ingrained in our rituals in such a way, especially in the rituals of the Sanatan Dharma. Like our ancient yogis were aware of what's exactly happening, and they had created these rituals and routines in such a way that it automatically makes us feel safe and achieve our true potential. So that is when um I realized that let me share my experience, my personal life experience with all of you, and see maybe if that resonates or hits home for people who are watching. So one tiny request: if you like the video, if you find value in whatever I'm sharing today, then please send it to someone who can benefit from it, because you never know, there might be someone who is struggling in complete what is the right word here, seclusion. They feel like they are all alone even in a room full of people. They are probably crying from inside, but we don't get to see that outside because maybe they are good at hiding their emotions. So my one tiny request to you: please share it with anyone and everyone that you know, because you never know what impact this video might have on their lives and how it will completely change their life for the better good. And in the process, you will gain immense good karma. So do it for the good karma and not just because I am saying it. Okay? Now, with that, let's dive in. So, first and foremost, what you need to do is you need to focus all of your senses on some kind of an object which is in this world, to bring your entire mind to the present moment. Now, how do we do this? Some people like to chant, some people like to visualize on kind of a symbol, some people like to visualize on an ideal. But what exactly is happening here? So let me discuss that with you. So what exactly is happening over here is, you see, think of this as your mind. Okay, this is your brain basically. Okay, and brain is the CPU, or the central processing unit. Okay, now when I say central processing unit, I'm just using that for reference over here. Think of it as the CPU of your computer. Now from the CPU you have like different kind of peripherals connected, like you have a mouse, you have a keyboard, you have a monitor, you have speakers, and so on and so forth. Okay, now consider that your brain, or we'll call it like, the brain is the physical unit, like the CPU is a physical unit, but when there is any kind of interaction happening with the CPU, that's happening because of the electrical impulses, right? There's some kind of electrical impulse going, and then there are some changes happening within that CPU. So that we can call as a mind. The functioning of the brain, we are referring here to that element as the mind. So the mind also has these peripherals. So these peripherals are the senses. So what are the senses that we have? We have like hearing, seeing, touching, tasting. What else? Smelling. And then also there's like the sixth sense, which is like intuition. But we are not going to focus so much on that. Actually, we will talk about it, but we'll not focus on that so much. Okay, so now what's happening is, generally when you're working with the CPU, you are the one who controls what output you want on the speaker, what you're typing on the keyboard, and that's exactly what is shown on the screen. The monitor shows exactly what it's supposed to show based on your inputs and your actions. The mouse pointer moves and you click on some area and it clicks perfectly. So that is when the CPU is working and functioning in your control, and you're like, okay, it's actually serving a purpose. Now I can use it and utilize it for my benefit to get some kind of an output that can be useful and impactful and valuable. But when it comes to our brain or our mind, the reverse is happening. Okay, and most of us are not even aware of this. What's happening? We probably want to see something that is gratifying for us, not necessarily valuable, not something that's impactful or useful, but something that's gratifying. When I say gratifying, what I mean is it's giving us a rush and a boost of dopamine instantly. We are craving for that dopamine hit. So because of this reason, what is happening? We are not choosing what we want to see, but we are being led by the senses to see what the senses want us to see. It's more or less like the monitor automatically starts showing something and forces you to see it. Would you be able to be productive in this case? Would you feel satisfied? No, right? You would say there's something wrong with the CPU. The same way, if I take my mouse and I take my mouse pointer, and instead of going where I want it to go, it starts going somewhere else. Then what happens? Again, I would say there's some kind of a problem with the mouse. Now, that's exactly what we need to reverse over here. And how do we reverse it? That's the secret I'm going to talk to you and share with you right now. What you do is, every single day, just like how when people work out, they focus on a particular muscle, and then they slowly and gradually build that strength for that muscle, and then with time they build muscle memory. That's exactly what we are trying to do here as well. What we are doing is, let's say one of the activities that I personally follow and I would recommend to you as well, this is not based on religion and it is not limited to any particular religion. Every religion has their own rituals and you can implement any ritual from any religion. I am just sharing the one that I resonate with, the one that I have practiced in my life. Okay, so please, I request you, don't get critical or judgmental about the process, and don't miss out on the value that I'm offering. Don't think, oh, he's trying to preach religion to me. That's not my agenda. I'm just sharing with you what I did, and then you can go take the principle, reverse engineer it, and see how to fit it in your life. Okay, now let's get started. So when I do some activities every single day in the morning, one of the activities that I do when I was in the temple, especially I was doing this, and almost everyone in the temple does this, is puja. Now, puja is not necessarily a person here, okay? Puja is a ritual. What I mean by that is we light up incense, which is connected to our smell. Then we have a lamp that we light, which is connected to our seeing. We ring the bell and we chant, which is connected to our hearing. Then we we are obviously like holding the diya or the lamp, and then we are rotating it. So our sense of touch is also activated. And tasting is coming from your tongue, right? So that is when we are singing, the tongue is activated. Sorry, the tongue, I meant to say. The tongue, the tasting element gets activated. And touch is already activated because when we are doing all of these activities, we are using our hands, and then we are pouring things, and then we are taking the lamp and rotating it and all of that. Now, as a result of these practices every single day, what is happening is slowly and gradually we are the ones who are actually defining the actions and the outcomes of our senses, and we are aligning them to work in accordance to our minds and brains. We set the intention, and then we perform the activities, and as a result of performing these activities in alignment with our intention, slowly but gradually our senses start coming back in our control. Okay, and we gain back that sense of ownership, and you can say that our CPU starts working properly again. It's almost as if we are acting like a antivirus software, you know. These rituals are more or less like an antivirus software that is running every single day, identifying all the viruses because of which we are losing control of our CPU or our minds. And as a result of this, slowly and gradually we are able to gain back control, and we are able to become more productive and fulfill our true purpose and achieve our true potential as a result. Okay, so that's point number one that we are focusing over here. Focusing your senses on an object to become more mindful of your presence and your present moment. Okay, now let's go to the second one. Any guesses? Anyone? Would you like to chat? Wherever you're watching this, if this is on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook, just go in the chat, or if you're probably watching this on Instagram in the future in a short video format, then go in the comments and let me know, does this hit home? Okay, is this a home run? If you have a different thought process, then please share that also in the comments. Now, the second one is singing. Okay, singing is therapy. Why? Why exactly are we referring to singing as a therapeutic exercise? You see, isn't it like normal and obvious that you start singing in a place when you feel safe and you feel calm and you feel secure, right? When you're taking a bath, and if you are generally happy, don't you start humming some kind of a music, some kind of a song, a rhythm? Why is that happening? Okay, think. Let me tell you the answer. So what's exactly happening is, we as human beings are social creatures, and In our DNA, we have this hard wiring. Whenever we used to be together and when we used to feel safe, we would express that by singing in certain frequencies. Okay, when you're happy, you sing in a certain frequency, which are not extremely high or extremely low, but in the middle ground, which is like a safe ground. So the reverse is also true. If you want to feel safe and secure and happy, all you have to do is start singing. If you start singing, it sends a signal to your mind that everything is good. You are in a safe space. You're not in scarcity. You are in abundance. And from there, you start rewiring your mind for the state of abundance. So that's point number two. And that's exactly what you'll see in temples also. Almost all of these religious organizations, especially in temples, you will see that people are singing, dancing, chanting, and they are completely blissful. And some of them are even crying because of the amount of endorphins that are being released in their body. Okay, so that's point number two. Now let's go to the point number three, the brain gut relationship. Yes, that is the most important factor that a lot of people miss out on. And let me share with you a few of my personal experiences. So, there are thousands of good and bad microbiomes that reside inside of our bodies, especially in our gut. Okay. Now, these microbiomes are sending signals to the brain because you see, the brain has this wiring, just like the CPU has all this wiring and all of these peripherals are connected to the CPU. Just like that, there is an entire nervous system, like a neural structure that is going through a spinal cord, and then there are centers which we call as chakras, from where it is spreading to all the different areas and organs of a body. Now, as we go down into our stomach, this is where a majority of our neural pathways exist. Okay, because you see, when we are eating anything, it has to go back and it has to provide nutrition to the entire body, right? If there is some part that has been injured or needs healing, then that signal needs to go back and forth from the brain and to the digestive system, and from the digestive system to the brain, that okay, this part needs healing or this part needs more attention, so send the nutrition more in this area so that it can accelerate the healing process overall. Correct? Now, if a person is not conscious or intentional while they are eating, okay, if they start watching some kind of video, or they start multitasking, if they're standing and not considering it a ritual, a practice, a sacred practice, then what's happening is their mind, their brain is focused on something completely different. It is not able to digest that food well. Okay, now this food is not able to nourish and provide the right nutrition to help us and help our bodies heal completely. So that is point number one. Point number two, what you ingest, what you put inside your body makes your body's core material structure, right? Because what you eat is what you become. In Hindi, there is a saying, um, actually, you know what? There's like the tan. Tan is basically the body. And then there is like the dhan. Dhan is basically the wealth. And then there is like food, which is anna. Anna is basically like the food. So there is a saying which says, from an you get the tan, and from the tan you get the dhan, right? And there is also one part I missed out in between. So there is the an, from an you get the tan, and from the tan you get the man, which is the mind. And from the man you get the dhan, which is the wealth. And when I say wealth, I don't necessarily mean money as a wealth. When I say wealth, I mean even bliss and happiness as wealth, because someone who's happy, satisfied, they are wealthy, right? even if you have just enough for survival, but if you have peace of mind, you are much more wealthier than a person who might have uh, millions of dollars, but they're not feeling happy and satisfied because the quality of their life is completely degraded, and it's not leading them to a position or a point where they feel fulfilled or happy. Okay, and as a result of that, obviously they're going to die younger. Okay, so now let me share that line once again. From your un, you build your tan. From your tan, you build your man. And from your man, you get the dhan. Now, let me repeat that in English. What you eat makes your body. Whatever you put in your body makes your mind. And whatever your mind is like is going to decide your wealth. Okay, so I hope that also resonates with you and it makes sense to you. Now, there's one more very important element over here, like a lot of people miss out on this, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people might not necessarily agree to this, and it's okay. I don't want your agreement. Instead, what I want to share with you over here is, you see, the most of the people, they're trying to eat dead food. Now, what is dead food? Any kind of food that has been left stale includes non-veg, because whatever animal you're eating, that animal has life. In order for you to eat that animal, if you were eating that animal alive, like when it is alive, you just eat it, then it's fine. I'm completely okay with that. Okay, I mean, if you can do that, please do that by all means. But when you kill that animal, first and foremost, the entire energy structure of that animal changes to a negative pattern, because obviously the animal will know that it's about to die. It's not like surprise, surprise, right? It's not like, even if you're shooting them and killing them like very fast by electrocuting them, still the mind stays alive for a fraction of the second, and within that fraction of the second, the energy of that entire body changes to negative. Whenever you were in pain, what was the energy pattern within your body? It was obviously negative, right? Now imagine you are ingesting this negative energy inside your body, the energy of fear, hatred, anger, pain, helplessness. Okay, all of these negative emotions have constituted and formed the basic structure of that dead animal. And now you are acting like a graveyard. You are putting that dead animal inside of your body. What do you expect? What do you think is going to happen? We just spoke about how all the signal transference is happening, and the microbiomes are sending positive and negative and all of those kind of signals. Now, if you ingest something with negative quality, negative energy inside your body, the first and foremost thing that's going to happen is you are going to be able to, if you are very, very sensitive and you're an aware person, you can do this experiment by yourself. You will start to feel that negative emotion in your minds. You will start to feel fear and anger. Okay, so that is why it's super duper important to put something which is absolutely alive. Okay, uh, let me ask you this question. Let's say you have a kid. Would you be comfortable taking that kid to a slaughterhouse? Would you be okay if that kid sees a butcher chopping the head of a live animal? Would you be fine with it? Why wouldn't you be fine with it? In comparison and contrast, let's say there was a strawberry. Would you be fine if your child sees the slaughter of a strawberry? Would it make any kind of an impact? No, right? Why? Because somewhere deep down, even you know that this is wrong. But because of the conditioning and because of you lying to yourself and not being true to yourself, you are just going and living life without a strong intention. Okay, and this is what I want to change for you in your life. I want you to become intentional thoughtful and mindful about all of your actions and your day-to-day activities. Okay. Now, what is the alternative? How do we get all the nutrition? It's very simple. All you have to do is you need to balance the right amount of proteins that are available in a vegetarian diet. For example, you eat. I would recommend not eating white rice so much. I mean, if you have like a schedule where you are exerting a lot of energy every single day, then it's completely fine. You can eat white rice. Otherwise, stick to brown rice. Okay. Now mix this brown rice with some kind of a dal. Dal is basically a lentil or a pulse. Because what happens is rice has a certain type of protein and dal has a different type of protein. When you mix and match both of these, then you get the complete protein which is sufficient and enough for you to have a very healthy, agile, flexible and happy life and body. Okay. Another thing that you can do is you can use sprouts. You see, plants are designed in such a way that they don't have the neural structure or the consciousness which is elevated, or that the consciousness is not as aware of that of an animal. For an animal, they have much more awareness about everything that's happening around within themselves and around, right, about the environment. But if you see a plant, it's very subtle, almost to the point where they can't necessarily feel the impact of negativity that much in comparison to a animal, right? It's not going to be like you take a sprout and you put it in your ingest it in your body and like instantly the energy of the sprout has become negative. It's not going to be that fast. Okay. You also need to understand one of the key core concepts here, which is, don't try to justify it by saying, okay, we are even killing the plant, right? See, end of the day, you have to survive. If it comes to a point where you are maybe stuck on an island and you don't have anything to eat, I would totally say, for your survival, get the next animal, kill it and eat it. That's completely fine. I'm not saying no to that. If it is a need, go for it by all means. But when you can consciously make a choice, a decision that is in your power and your control, try to do as less of harm or violence to other living beings as possible. Okay. And please don't tell me that killing one animal is better than killing hundreds of sprouts. That does not make sense. Nature is also trying to serve us. Okay. That animal, you don't have any kind of a right over that animal. If you're saying you're actually giving birth to that, no, you are not giving birth to that animal for sure. But if you're breeding or you're what is the right word, farming a certain animal for your own sense gratification, how do you think you will gain control over your mind and your senses? That's not going to happen, because now you're being driven by your taste. You are not necessarily eating that animal because of any other reason, because if it was just for nutrition, you can get that nutrition from other vegetarian sources as well. So why do you have to cause pain to these animals, right? You don't necessarily have to do that. So this is the last part. Try to eat food that is energized with positive energy. Okay, that will bring a lot of positive karma in your life, and as a result you will be able to feel much more bliss, happiness and peace overall. Now the fourth one for changing your entire um, life and how to activate your vagus nerve is sleep well. Okay, you need to sleep at least a minimum of 6 hours, because one entire sleep cycle gets completed in 6 hours. And on an average, the healthier amount of time, like the amount of time that you need to sleep for in total, is 8 hours. Now, when do you need to sleep and wake up? That's also very critical and very important. You can do this experiment and see it for yourself. Stay awake the entire night and sleep in the daytime. Ensure that the environment is adjusted and accustomed in such a way that there is no light and it's all perfect, but you will still feel that there is a difference in the level of energy that you have in comparison to you sleeping at, let's say, 9 or 10 o'clock. Okay, so what's exactly happening? So we have this time biological clock inbuilt inside our bodies. Okay, if you're saying you don't have it inbuilt, then I would say that you are a very, very ignorant person. Straight up, that is the truth. But if you are aware, you can do this experiment, and with time you will be able to see that you actually have a biological clock inside of your body. This biological clock knows what is the time for a certain organ of the body to be activated and do its particular function or its particular action. So what's happening is, in between the time 11 to 3, 11 p.m. to 3 a.m., your body is actually reprocessing, recycling, and cleansing out all the toxins that were accumulated throughout the day. Your brain is, your mind is going to a very deep, restful state. It's almost like cleaning the cache memory of your CPU, or cleaning all the junk from your hard drives. Okay, that's happening. You are reorganizing the information, you're putting them in the right folders so that you can access it if and when it is required. You are just putting all the junk in the recycle bin. So all of that is happening in your mind. Plus, inside of your body, your digestive system is going at rest and cleaning out all the toxins and pushing it out towards the large intestine, so that when you wake up you can excrete them out of your body. So all of these different activities are happening inside your body at the time that you are sleeping, and these are automatically getting activated within the time frame of 11 to 3 a.m. There are a lot of people who say I am a night owl, it's in my DNA. Bullshit. Okay, please excuse me for my language, but that is the reality. Who did this research? On how many people did they do this research? Were these people consciously answering these questions? Yes. So what if you picked and selected 100 people who are going to say that, oh, I prefer sleeping at this time only? Obviously, the research is going to have results which are going to be biased. But in reality, we can train ourselves to sleep at a particular time and wake up at a particular time, and as a result of this, we can have better quality of thoughts, better quality of life, better quality of energy. Okay, we can feel that bliss, peace, and happiness. Now, if you would like to do this and experience this for yourself, just don't go for my words. Okay, I'm not asking you to just believe whatever I'm saying blindly. Do an experiment. Okay, weren't we taught in our school times, in maths especially, that whenever there's any kind of equation and you want to prove that LHS is equal to RHS, what was the first step that you would implement? The first step was, let us assume that LHS is equal to RHS. Correct? You would still get a mark or half a mark for writing just that one line. So you start from there. The next line that you write is when you actually take one side of the assumption and you start solving for the RHS. And at the end of it, you realize, was LHS actually equal to RHS? If it was not, then you can say, no, this is a false statement. If it was, then you say, yes, hence proved. That's exactly what I want you to do with what I'm saying here. I'm saying go sleep at 10 o'clock consistently for 7 to 10 days. It will take some time for you to actually rewire yourself. Okay, unwind, start unwinding at around 6 7 o'clock in the evening. Eat your dinner at least 2 hours before you go to sleep, around 8 o'clock. Go to sleep at around 10 to 11 o'clock. Okay, 10:30 is like ideal. 10:30, and try to wake up early. Try to wake up at, let's say, 7 a.m. in the morning. You will absolutely thank me and come back in the comments and let me know that it worked. And I can assure you that, okay? This is from my personal experience and from an experience that I've suggested to a lot of people who did not believe in it. But the only request that I have is, if you truly want to understand what I'm saying is actually true or not, then you need to perform this experiment and figure it out for yourself. If you do it, you will know the answer. Okay, cool. And probably that will help you increase your lifespan. It will also help you increase the uh, amount of productivity you have in a particular given day. It will also help you be more clear in your thoughts. Okay, and please don't use any kind of a stimulant, because it's going to be difficult for your brain to shut off if you are having any kind of a caffeinated drink, or you're smoking cigarettes, or any kind of a external substance which activates the brain and the mind and puts you out of control. Okay, don't do that, and just try this experiment. And I can assure you, this has even cured depression for a lot of my friends who thought they actually had depression. Okay, now these are the things that we have discussed today. Let's quickly recap. So, focus your senses on the present moment by bringing them onto an object and completely focusing it on that object. Sing whenever you feel scared or fearful, and you will start seeing that automatically you start feeling safe. Whatever you eat is going to determine the quality of your thoughts. And 4, sleep for a minimum of 7 to 8 hours. And if you miss this, I will tell you one thing for sure: you cannot achieve success. And when I say success, I don't mean just material success. You might have the money, but you might not necessarily be at peace inside your minds. Okay, you will not have that happiness, that bliss, and that peace in your life. And finally, there are many more lessons that I want to share with you in regards to this, in relation to this, but let's keep that for a later video or a later post. Okay, I'm going to be sharing this carousel on all the platforms that I am live and active, especially on LinkedIn. Until then, you take care. We are not ending the live stream here. Okay, we are taking a short break for around 3 to 5 minutes, and when we return, we are going to discuss about something that all of you will absolutely be interested in. What is that something? I'm going to share with you my secrets on how you can just upload a PDF file, okay, on any topic. And in today's case, we are going to take the topic of mental health. And using that, we will see how you can start implementing future self journaling, and how you can start utilizing that to your advantage to be able to do the work that you want to do in life. Okay, to get rid of all of your traumas and your patterns and your conditioning, and become free and have the bliss and peace that you deserve. You literally deserve it, but you're ignoring it. It's fine. I'm completely okay with that. Nobody's judging here. The only agenda and the objective over here that we have, that we want to meet for you, is that you become more peaceful, more happy, more blissful, and achieve your true potential. Okay, that is what we are going to be focusing on. And there's a specific book that I will be taking as an example today to help you build this resilience and this new habit of journaling your future self. Okay, what is that book? It's called Do the Work by Nicole LaPera. Okay, this is an amazing book. Highly recommend it. Go get a copy of this book and recognize all the patterns that have been holding you back from reaching your true potential, and create your true self. Okay, fulfill all of your purpose and reach your true potential. So I'll rejoin the stream after a quick break of 5 minutes, and then we'll dive into understanding how to use ChatGPT to create your own life coach, and how You can every single day work with this life coach of yours and change your life for the better good. Okay, until then, I will leave you with this amazing, beautiful video, and I'll see you back in 5 minutes. let's get started. I'm back. I hope you had your quick water, snack, pee break, loo break, whatever it was that you wanted to need a break for, and you're back. So now let's dive in. So what is the first thing that we are going to do? I'm going to share a few resources with you over here, okay? So one of my friends shared access with me to a PDF file of this particular book, okay? And that was like one of the best things that could have happened to me, because I have had a lot of traumas in my life and I really wanted to do the work, but I did not know how exactly I'm supposed to do it. So what I did was I read the book. It was really insane, but it had so many insights that I wanted to implement, but I was not aware of, okay, how do I exactly start doing that? So what I did was I took that PDF file and I went to a website called send.cm, okay? And within this website called send.cm, you can upload any files up to 100 GB, okay? So I uploaded the PDF file over here and I got a link. I got a link to the PDF file. Then I copied the link to that particular PDF file, okay? And once I copied that link, and this is just for educational purposes, please go and support the author, buy the book, okay? Don't be a cheapo. Don't try to just get this book for free. It's not going to make as much impact as it would if you actually go buy it. So please go and support the author, and please go and buy the book, okay? This is just to demonstrate the power of ChatGPT and how you can build your own personal life coach. This is in no way or no means trying to take someone else's work and make that look like my work. That's not the agenda and goal for this particular session. So please understand that. And if you think that you are just going to use it in a way that benefits only you and nobody else, I'm assuring you it will not benefit you, okay? So please go support the author Nicole Pereira, okay? La Pera. Now I go back to ChatGPT 4 and I enable the plugins, and within the plugins I choose this particular plugin called AI PDF. I enable that plugin over here, okay? And then I say, can you summarize this book for me? And then I paste the link of the book and I press enter. Okay. Now, AI PDF, the plugin, will actually go to that particular PDF book on the web. It will go through the entire book and then it will summarize for us. What exactly are we doing at this point of time? We are doing divergent thinking. Okay. Why divergent thinking? I'll let you know that also. So it says the author shares the journey describing her dark night of the soul, where she hit rock bottom. This led her to a transformative journey, holistic psychology, conscious self. Okay, these are all the different patterns and habits which have been shaping and changing the way your upbringing and environment has shaped you. Okay, the importance of daily practice in creating your own wellness, a new theory of trauma, inner child and reparenting, community and relationships, and tools and practices are also offered within this book. Okay, so the book is basically a testament to the author's journey and the transformative power of holistic psychology. It offers a comprehensive guide for anyone looking for looking to embark on a journey of self discovery and healing. Okay, so at this point of time, what we did was we asked it to just read the book and store that information in its system. So this is where we are just diverging. We are not going to a specific area. We are not trying to converge the thought. We are just trying to diverge the thought. We are going on the surface level so that we can set the right boundaries with ChatGPT, and then we can ask ChatGPT to work within those boundaries itself. Okay, that's what we try to achieve at this point of time. Now we say, great, can you please share with me the core lessons that are practically applicable in my day to day life. Keep it simple and concise. Focus on clarity and align me to the steps wherever and whenever required by sharing reasoning and building better context. Okay, now we will hit send and let's see what happens. At this point of time, we are slightly converging the thoughts. So, daily practice. Consistency is key. Holistic psychology emphasizes the importance of daily practice in creating your own wellness. Action. Dedicate a specific time each day for self care, whether it's meditation, exercise, or journaling. Mindfulness and awareness. Become aware of your thought patterns and habits. Action. Use mindfulness techniques to catch yourself when you are on autopilot. Ask, is this uh, is this action actually serving me? Addressing trauma. Understand the unresolved emotional wounds and trauma affecting your day-to-day life. Okay. Action. Identify triggers and emotional responses. Consider talking to a professional for deeper issues. Inner child and reparenting. Your inner child holds the key to many of your current emotional responses. Action. Spend time understanding your inner child's needs. Use affirmations or visualizations to represent yourself. Sorry, reparent yourself. Okay? Setting boundaries. Healthy relationships require boundaries. Action. Clarify, communicate your needs, clearly communicate your needs and limits to people around you. Say no when you need to. Body mind connection. Physical symptoms often have emotional roots. Action. Pay attention to physical discomforts. They might be signaling unresolved emotional issues deep down. Community and relationships. Your healing journey extends to your relationships and community. Action. Engage in meaningful conversations and activities that foster deeper connection. Holistic tools. Use breath work, body work, and other exercises for holistic healing. Incorporate these into your life routine. For example, start your day with 5 minutes of breath work. Trust your intuition. Your inner guidance system, often suppressed, is a powerful tool. Action. Listen to your gut feelings and act on them. 10. Continuous learning. The book itself is a testament to the power of continuous learning and adaptation. Action. Keep updating your self care practice based on new learnings and experiences. So these are all the different tools and resources within the book that you can start applying. But is this enough? Is this actually going to solve the problem for us? Okay. The answer is not exactly. And let me share with you why. I know that we are running on a bonus timer at this point of time, but I'm pretty sure you're still gaining value from it. So enjoy the bonus time and let's continue to dive in deeper and build a personal life coach for ourselves. At this point of time, what I'm going to say, instead of typing this time, I'm just going to repeat, like I'm just going to speak it out. So we open Windows plus H and then it starts to type things out in front of us. All we have to do is just speak. Okay. This is really amazing. I am deeply grateful, but I think I might not necessarily be able to implement all of this every single day. So, what I want is a personal life coach, and I want to name that personal life coach Bum Coach. Whenever I call out for Bum Coach on this particular chat thread, what I want you to do is give me some actionable tips and advice based on certain questions that you need to ask me every single day. And every time I ask you to help me, what you need to start with is basically a question first. Based on that question, I want you to take on the role and responsibility of becoming my personal life coach, helping me release all my trauma, overcome all my mental blocks, biases, conditioning, and reparent myself and reprogram my psyche in such a way that I can live my true purpose to the fullest potential that I actually have. I completely understand that you are an AI tool, and with that understanding, I feel that I might be having much better access to you on a day-to-day basis than compared to my psychologist, counselor, or therapist. So, are you ready? If you are ready, then let me know what are the details from my life story, in which areas would you like me to share details with you so that you can start taking up this role and help me with achieving my goals and true purpose in life. Okay, now we are going to stop the voice typing over here. This is quite a big prompt, but it's completely fine. It's like we are just speaking to ChatGPT, right? I'm thrilled to hear you are eager to make positive changes in your life. While I can't replace a certified psychologist, counselor, or therapist, I can certainly act as your bum coach to provide actionable tips and advice based on your needs. First, let's identify the areas where you would like to focus. Here are some categories to consider: emotional well being, stress, anxiety, emotional triggers, physical health, exercise, diet, sleep patterns, relationships, personal, professional, family, career and business goals, your company, fundraising, etc., personal development, skills you want to develop, habits you want to form, etc., spiritual growth, mindfulness, meditation, spiritual practices, etc. Once you share which areas resonate with you, we can dive deeper with specific questions to tailor the advice to your needs. This will help me provide you with actionable steps that align with your goals and true purpose. Great. This is exactly what I wanted. At this point of time, what we are doing is we are starting to converge our thoughts and not diverge anymore. Okay? That's where we are heading towards. For those of you who don't know what exactly convergent thinking and divergent thinking is, let me share something from Google that will help. Convergent thinking versus divergent thinking. Okay. Convergent thinking involves finding concrete and familiar solutions to problems. It uses evidence and facts to solve for one concrete answer to a problem. Convergent thinking narrows down multiple ideas to a single solution. Divergent thinking involves generating original ideas and new possibilities. It explores many options and possibilities for one question or problem. Divergent thinking expands outward by generating multiple ideas. That's exactly what we have been doing so far. We were diverging and we were trying to fill out all the possible areas within the landscape of self-healing and psychology and life coaching. Now we are going to go into the specifics to solve the problems that we actually have. So let's dive into that. So next I'm going to say, wow, I can't even believe that you are able to be of such great help and value to me. I am so blessed and grateful for your presence in my life. Having said that, I want your help to improve all of these 6 areas of my life. So, what is it that you need from me next? I'm genuinely pleased to hear you find value in this partnership. Since you're interested in improving all 6 areas, let's start by breaking them down one at a time. We'll begin with specific questions for each area to gauge where you're at and where you would like to go. Here are the questions. So it's asking me all of these different important questions. First one, emotional well-being. What specific emotional triggers or stressors are you currently aware of? Second, physical health. What does your current exercise, diet, and sleep routine look like? Relationships. Are there any relationships that are particularly challenging for you right now? Career and business goals. What are the immediate challenges you're facing in your business? Personal development. What skills or habits are you keen on developing? Spiritual growth. Do you currently have any spiritual or mindfulness practices in your daily routines? Feel free to answer these questions as elaborately as you need to. The more details you provide, the better I can tailor my advice to your unique situation. Once we have the information, we can start setting actionable steps for each area. Great. And with this, I think we have come to an end for today's live stream session. Okay. I hope you were able to find value so far in today's session. I tried my level best to focus on adding as much value as possible in your life to make a true impact in your uh, mission and purpose and everything that you're trying to do with your existence in this world. So, if you did get value from this so far, then tune in to our channel. Okay, we are live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and we are possibly online on all social media platforms that exist, the major ones, obviously. So you can subscribe, follow, like, hit the bell icons to get notified and get these kind of amazing insights from my personal life, all the tools, tips, resources, hacks that I use in my life to be a better entrepreneur. I would say to be a better multipreneur, because there are multiple businesses that I am trying to create. Okay. And in tomorrow's session, we'll have a balance between the mindfulness practices, the life coaching aspect, plus we will look into where we are at with our goal with branding bomb. What is it that we are trying to achieve so far? What have we already achieved? How is that journey going? And we'll see what we need to build in order to have the right resources, revenue, people, skills, whatever else is required in order to make our companies, our entrepreneurial journey a success, and share with you the raw, real, and holistic approach that we are taking towards sharing this journey with you. So I hope that this has inspired you, this has added some kind of value in your life. If yes is the answer, please go on our profile, hit the follow. I cannot repeat this enough. I know this sounds like someone trying to ask you for something, but understand that I'm asking you for this so that your life can be improved. Okay. If my life gets improved, I'm fine. I used to be a monk, right? So I'm kind of detached with everything, so it does not really matter so much. But if I can make an impact in your life, it really matters to me, and I really deeply care for that. So I'm super grateful and I'm super thankful for your time and your valuable presence, because that's one resource that you cannot gain back. And if you have invested your time and energy into this live stream, I'm deeply, deeply thankful for that. Okay. So, with that note, with a note of gratitude and thankfulness, and with peace, positivity, let's repeat our affirmations for the day. And with that, we will close the live stream for today. The affirmations you can repeat with me are: day by day, in every way, I am becoming healthier, wealthier, wiser, loving, humble, patient, and enlightened. Day by day, in every way, I am becoming healthier, wealthier, wiser, loving, humble, patient, and enlightened. Day by day, in every way, I am becoming healthier, wealthier, wiser, loving, humble, patient, and enlightened. Thank you once again, and I will see you again tomorrow. Your host Shubham from Branding Bump signing off for the day. Take care, enjoy, and have fun.